Hey there people, it's your favorite WeedleTwineedle bringing you guys another Sword and Shield Wi-Fi battle. I know it's been a while since I've posted one of these, but before we get into today's video, a word from our sponsor. Introducing Raid Shadow Legends. That's right, these wonderful folk have once again sponsored my channel. If you haven't heard of Raid at this point, Raid is a free-to-play turn-based strategy game where you can summon and build your own champions, available both on mobile and PC devices as well. What makes Raid really enjoyable for me is the near infinite amount of potential you have when it comes to champion builds, because each champion has unique skill trees, and with millions of different artifacts available to collect, every champion will be unique, and building up your champion has never been easier because Raid recently released the Artifact Forge, where you can craft artifacts directly, which makes obtaining certain artifacts much easier than before. Not only that, Raid also released a new advanced quest system with amazing rewards. And that's not all. Raid also brought out some amazing new champions, and they're developing the amazing looking Doom Tower, which I'm super excited about. When you're first starting off in Raid, the best way to obtain additional champions is through the portal. Here at the portal, you can summon champions through the various different champion shards they have in the game. And we got Hospitaller, who has some pretty useful skills, it looks like. Quick Slash level 1, Wave of Purification level 1, attacks all enemies, has a 50% chance of removing one random buff. So very nice utility. And we got Crimson Slayer, who has Bring Silence level 1, attacks 3 times a random sleep debuff. Pretty useful indeed, I like it. My favorite part about the summoning system is that even if you get a trash champion, they still have their uses. If they're not quite what you're looking for, you can sacrifice them in order to level up your good champions, which means no champion summoned will go to waste, which is such a nice system. So what are you waiting for? Go to the video description, click on these special links, and if you are a new player, you will receive 50,000 silver, 50 gems, 1 energy refill, 1 clan boss key, 5 mystery shards, a 1-day EXP boost, and 1 free epic champion, Smogon, who makes the early game campaign a breeze. These rewards are only available for the next 30 days, so be sure to get on that as soon as possible. And that pretty much sums it up. Thank you Raid so much for sponsoring this video. Good luck guys, and I'll see you there. Anyway, back to the video. Today we're utilizing a team revolving around Alolan Persian, which is pretty cool because Alolan Persian is a pretty niche Pokemon not really used in singles very much. We're using Beat Up Alolan Persian, which is a strategy I used back in Ultra Sun and Moon. However, I had to use Assist back then to use Beat Up. And in Sword and Shield, Alolan Persian just learns Beat Up through TM, which is pretty cool. Not that we could use Assist to get Beat Up anyways, because they dexed Assist, but I'm not here to complain. We're just here to enjoy some Pokemon. So as you can see here, we're enjoying playing like half stall with like Zeraora and Urshifu, which is actually really terrifying because my opponent can just pivot in to Urshifu and Zeraora with like Teleport Blissey, Teleport Fable, and just like pivoting in with like U-Turn Corviknight and Toxapex and just being a pain in the ass. So this is actually a pretty scary matchup. However, I'm not too worried about my opponent's defensive Pokemon, more so their offensive Pokemon. And as you can see, my opponent is sleeping in their trainer card because they're just so bored of Pokemon. They're using stall with the Sword and Shield 20-minute timer. Like, come on now. I know it's not completely stall, but like that defensive core is kind of disgusting. So yeah, my opponent's going to lead off with their Urshifu because they realize it gets a kill whenever it's in for free, and they can just pivot into whatever I lead off with. So good lead on my opponent's part. I lead off with my Darmanitan because I wanted to just lead off a Choice Scarf to Darmanitan. It's pretty obvious, but I could trick a Choice Scarf to like Toxapex or something if you let off with that. So I just let off with my Darmanitan and go for the U-turn into my own Urshifu to tank the Wicked Blow. I'm like, I resist it, I should tank it reasonably well, as Wicked Blow does so much damage because Urshifu is so hot. It just hits so hard. I don't know why, but here my opponent's going to switch out of the Urshifu, not wanting to risk a speed tie or something, and bring out their Toxapex. And here I pretend to be good at the game and click U-turn again because that's how you play singles. People say singles is so hard, but let's be real. Pivoting moves are so brain dead. And I'm very grateful I didn't Surging Strikes because that Toxapex is Rocky Helmet and I probably would have died. So thankfully I did not go for Surging Strikes, and I'm able to bring in my Lysandre here and put on a lot of offensive pressure with the Freeze Dry. So here I'm going to double switch out and bring in my Alolan Persian, expecting my opponent to bring out the Blissey, as thankfully my opponent does switch out and brings out the Blissey, which is very nice for me because now I can go for the Technician Stab Beat Up, and it does so much damage. The Adamant Stab Technician, it just makes it do so much damage. And Blissey is a very bulky Pokemon, but it just can't stand up to Technician Stab Beat Up. It gets knocked out by all 6 beat ups. I'm not even Choice Banded or anything. I'm actually King's Rock because I knew people would be like, Weedle, why didn't you run King's Rock? You can get flinchies. If I didn't run King's Rock, I'd much rather run Choice Band for damage or Black Glasses even, but no, I'm running King's Rock for the content. So yeah, my opponent's gonna bring in Clefable here, and I have like no suspicions to Clefable, so I bring in my Delmise. This is like my Clefable answer on the team.
We actually take Moonblast reasonably well. Thankfully, it's not like an offensive variant with like Life Orb. Otherwise, I had to be in a very bad position. My opponents are going to reveal to be Protect on the Clefable, which kind of confirms that they are like Teleport Clefable set. But I'm going to reveal the Anchor Shot so I can easily trap the Clefable and hopefully get rid of it. And I knew my opponent was going to switch out right here, but I wasn't too entirely sure into what. I was thinking Toxapex, but I didn't want to risk doubling into something bad, so I'm just going to play it safe right here. I didn't want to risk my opponent going for double Moonblast as well, predicting me to double switch, because I've been playing extremely aggressively so far. So go for the Anchor Shot just to play it safe, as they're going to bring in Zeraora. A pretty good pivot, we're still able to chip it down, which is nice, because both Urshifu and Zeraora being chipped down is good for our Darmanitan late game, so I'm very happy with that Anchor Shot trade. And here my opponent's going to reveal the knockoff in the Zeraora. I figured he had knockoff, but I wasn't too entirely sure if they had knockoff, because I was like, maybe it's a transfer move, they won't have the knockoff. My opponent probably has access to genning bots or something, so the knockoff was pretty free, and thankfully we were able to synthesis off the knockoff damage so we avoid the 2-hit KO. And my opponent's going to Volt Switch out right here and bring in the Urshifu, which is terrifying, because now I have to switch into Wicked Blow again, and I just can't switch into it because Urshifu is very strong. People want the shit banned from OU for a reason, and I don't blame them. I mean, I don't want it banned personally because I just love Urshifu as a Pokemon, but like, it's still reasonably strong and very hard to switch into. I'm gonna bring in my Nidalee right here, expecting Wicked Blow, and I'm like, wait, I'm not Fur Coat, I'm so stupid. And Wicked Blow is almost going to one-shot me, but Nidalee lives with 5 HP. As you guys can see, by the way, I do have League of Legends related nicknames because I've been playing League a lot lately. I don't know why. I've lost control of my life. It's because Earth released, and Earth's been kind of fun. Though Tryhard's gonna ruin that. People who pick Yumi and shit like that need to please like just play ranked or something. I'm gonna go for the work up right here because I'm like, if I play rough into a Toxapex Rocky Helmet and die, that would be a more sadder defeat than to get knocked out by Wicked Blow. I'd rather get Wicked Blowed by Dad or Shifu than just kill myself to the Toxapex. So yeah, we're gonna go for beat up right here and just do a lot of damage to the Toxapex. We do over half with the +1 attack beat up. As my opponent goes for recover, maybe they thought beat up was a contact move and Rocky Helmet would KO me, or they just wanted to recover. I don't know, but I'm very grateful they did because he didn't Scald and knock me out. So I can go for beat up again. Let's be grateful that beat up does not make contact, because otherwise Urshifu would be able to run that in VGC and be able to beat up through Protects and give Justified Pokemon the free setup of their life. So let's be grateful that it can't do that. Oh my god, that would be horrifying. But my opponent's gonna get flinched here. We actually get the Technician stab beat up Flinchy, which is very epic. And now my opponent's gonna bring in the Clefable because it's like, okay, yeah, I'm kind of scared of this Persian, but I go for the Gunk Shot into Clefable, and it does less than half. So I'm like, wow, Persian sucks. Wow, Persian sucks. But I'm even at +1 attack, so maybe this is unaware Clefable. In this battle, I figured it was Magic Guard and just Persian being that shit, but maybe it is unaware, because I think +1 Gunk Shot, even if it's like from Persian, it should have 2-hit KO'd at least, right? But I go for beat up here because I'm like, well, I don't know what. I'm at 5 HP. There's like no point in saving this anyway. I guess I could have saved it for Death Water, so this is probably a bad play. But I go for beat up because this is the Pokemon. It's the theme of the video. When we get the beat up flinch, because Persian, like, you can bully it for its base 60 attack stat, but it's doing the work right now. We KO'd a Blissey, we forced the Toxapex to run away, and now this Clefable has to protect itself from an Alolan Persian, which is absolutely hilarious. I go for the work up right here just because I'm like, the Protect's probably coming out. If I get Moonblasted here, whatever. I mean, I'm just making the hard reads for content, you know? I just play super aggressively for content because I like to make as many flashy moves as possible so people think I'm good at this game. But yeah, I'm gonna go for beat up into the Clefable and just try to go for flinchies again. Like, I get some nice crits because beat up hits 6 times. You're bound to crit at least one of them, right? And yeah, beat up's just doing very little damage, unfortunately. But it's chunking them down a little by little, just a little bit of damage each time. And we do get another flinch, which is just so funny. I don't know if the opponent's in range of the Gunk Shot yet. He might go for Protect again, but instead I just go for Gunk Shot anyway, just because if I go for Work Up and he Moonblasts me or Wishes, I'll be so sad. So I go for the Gunk Shot. We're able to knock out Clefable, which is amazing for me. So Alolan Persian 1v1 a Clefable. You'll never see this again on YouTube. This is probably like the best Alolan Persian feature you'll ever see on YouTube. That's for sure. But now I'm going to bring in my Nautilus right here to tank up these Zeraoras like Close Combat or Plasma Fist. My opponent goes for Knockoff. Good play, because obviously like Knockoff would have KO'd me from that range of health. So no reason to not go for Knockoff, but whatever. I still tank it reasonably well because my leftovers were knocked off earlier. So my opponent's going to Volt Switch out and bring in the Urshifu again, and so I'm like, okay, now someone's definitely gonna die to the Wicked Blow. I've avoided death for one too many turns, and now Wicked Blow, I gotta pick a sack because my Urshifu's chunked, my Alolan Persian's at 5 HP, and those are my Dark Resists. So here I'm going to bring in the only Pokemon that deserves to die to Wicked Blow, and that is another Urshifu. The daddy Urshifus are just going to go at it. The Wicked Blow going to knock me out, and unfortunately my Urshifu is going to die, but Leader is the worst champion in League of Legends, so of course it would be sacked off first. And I'm just going to bring in my Alolan Persian right here. As you can see, we have the Play Rough. So I'm going to go for Play Rough right here and just hope to God that we can kill it, because I don't know. There's nothing else Persian can do, and we do go for Play Rough, and thankfully they're able to knock out the Urshifu. So Alolan Persian got 3 kills? It got 3 kills. It forced Toxapex to run away. Like, Alolan Persian's honestly the MVP in this battle. Alolan Persian, I love you. I love you, babe. I've always loved Alolan Persian. It's just like such a wacky design. It's like a good support Pokemon, but the fact it can be used offensively in such niche ways, like my most viewed video is me sweeping with Alolan Persian with weakness policy, assist, power trip. So like Alolan Persian being able to like do other stuff like Technician, stab, beat up, it's great. But here I'm gonna bring in my Malphite because Corviknight really can't do much to my team. Like I'm assuming it's like U-turn, defog, Roost, maybe like Iron Head or Body Press. So I'm like not too concerned about Corviknight. And I'm like, okay, I could just have Sword Stances against this thing with my Viperior. Unfortunately, I'm not Smackdown because I thought Game Freak exited that move from the game. Otherwise, I would have given my Viperior Smackdown, but we are actually Stone Edge. My opponent reveals to be Bulk Up on the Corviknight, which wasn't what I was expecting because this is like a mostly stall team, so I thought he was like a defog supportive set, but he actually reveals to be Bulk Up, which is kind of scary, but we do have a Sword Stance, so I'm like, I might as well just boost alongside him, see how much damage we could do, maybe catch him on a Roost with Earthquake or something, but he's gonna go for Bulk Up again. I go for the Stone Edge here, and I miss. I was hoping for a crit there or something, and then my opponent's like, now's my chance, and he Dynamaxes, and I'm like, you. But I kind of deserve. I guess, like, I don't know. It's a random opponent, so it's not like you're not allowed Dynamax like you're allowed to in the game, but it's still just like, you mother bitch. I don't know. I'm just D-Max Corviknight. And a lot of people Dynamax Corviknight too. It's such a good Dynamax Pokemon, to be fair. But like I swear, Dynamax Corviknight has appeared like at least 3 times in my videos, and I posted like Sword and Shield battle videos like only like 10 times max. So yeah, I don't like Sword and Shield very much. We're able to activate our weakness policy and go for another Sword Stance. I'm at a +6 attack, and I'm like, okay, he is Dynamaxed and all, but this is +6 attack Viperior, so my opponent's gonna go for Max Knuckle here instead of a Steel Spike. I'm assuming he doesn't carry the Iron Head. That's my guess, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm assuming he's Bulk Up, Roost, Body Press, Brave Bird, because he revealed to have Bulk Up and Max Knuckle, but that's just my guess. Stone Edge barely does half because even though it's +4 attack, because he only has +2 defense from the Bulk Ups, D-Max is just so balanced that you can just live attacks like that, and Max Airstream will knock out my Malphite. Malphite tanked the attacks needed to do it. It performed the role on this team because it is a tank in League of Legends. It's a tank in the game in Pokemon, and down it goes. I could have probably Dynamax and swept my opponent's team, but I have morals. I will not be clicking Dynamax in singles unless I absolutely have to win. If I can win without Dynamax, that is more impressive. So here I'm like, okay, I guess I have to bring in Darmanitan because nothing else on my team can outspeed it. So probably should have Dynamax my Viperior right there, but I could save my Dynamax for my 5 HP Persian for the constant I could Dynamax my Persian endgame or something. I don't know. I was just doing it for fun. So here I'm going to Flare Blitz. My opponent decides to sack off the Corviknight, and down it goes to the Flare Blitz. And then we see 2 minutes left. I'm like, oh, I love Sword and Shield. We love the timer. But 2 minutes left. I have 4 Pokemon left. They only have 2, so I could timer stall them if need be, but I'm pretty sure they can't even knock out 2 of my Pokemon in that amount of time, and they actually end up forfeiting. So we're able to defeat our opponent thanks to beat up Alolan Persian. So beat up Alolan Persian came in clutch right there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that showcasing of the beat up Persian team. If you guys want to use this team for yourself for some reason, want to play singles in Sword and Shield for some reason, here's the rental code. It's not a good team, so don't expect to win with it. We have like Fire, Water, Grass. That's like as much thought as I put into this team. So go crazy. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. It really helps me out. And be sure to comment on the question of the day, which is going to be, are you looking forward to Crown Tundra? What are you looking forward to most in Crown Tundra? Do you guys want to see me stream Crown Tundra? Let me know in the comments down below. Anything, just your thoughts on Crown Tundra. I'm excited for it, but I'm also like not expecting much. I doubt it's going to make me any more enthusiastic to play Sword and Shield, but you know, it'll be something to do, right? I do have a Discord server. I'll leave a link to that in the description if you're interested in joining that. Maybe talk about Crown Tundra, talk about Pokemon, hang out, all that fun stuff. I'll leave a link to my Discord server in the description if you're interested in joining that. But that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you, Rate, so much for sponsoring this video. I know a lot of you guys get really salty when I do Rate sponsorships.
Yes, I did that. And you would do it too for a check.
I'm unemployed now, so I need any help I can get. So why am I even apologizing? This is free content.